Good morning, everyone. You guys, I'm outside and I live in like a very wooded area, so you're going to hear crickets and cicadas and tree frogs and just all the fun swamp bugs. If it gets too noisy, I'll go in. But yeah, kind of last minute. I did have it scheduled for 10:20, but I'm so stupid and I completely forgot that there's an hour time difference between Karen and I. So, like, I don't want to intrude on her time. So, we'll just consider this foreplay. And then I'm going to send everyone over to X Factor when we're done. We won't be long. Boo thing, Texas Kim. Have fun with your outing today. Be safe. So, yeah. Spectral, yeah, Mom, Pink Warrior. Beneficent was in here earlier. I hope you're doing well. Miss you much. Mandy. Hello, hello. Hey, Fugitive Recovery. I don't know that many people are going to be here. I was just walking because, like, I walk every morning and every night. I got about 4.5 miles in this morning. It started getting hot, and I was like, I feel like I want to go live and just, like, shoot the shit for a little bit. Why not? I have this whole channel. I don't do it that often. Like, what am I so afraid of? Not much, really. I'm not afraid of much. But I won't lie, getting up here and like when you go live all the time, it's no big thing. Can you guys hear me okay? It sounds funny to me. But when you go live all the time, it's like no big thing. But when you don't do it that often, it's like, oh my gosh. It's a little, get a little nervous. Okay, good. Um, so yeah, lots been going on lately, and you know what? We're not going to talk about it. Who cares? Everybody else has been talking about it like 15 times a day. It goes through a cycle. You can pretty much predict the next person in line to go live to talk about it again. That's not very productive, people. Like, sometimes you just gotta let that shit go and let the cards fall where they may. Texas Kim, you have missed a lot, but you couldn't help it. That if any of y'all were affected by that massive ass hurricane, my prayers go out to you. It was a big one. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. It affected me, and I'm so far inland. It's crazy. But the only thing that really sustained damage was a lot of limbs were broken out of my trees, and a lot of crap ended up in my pool, and that's a whole process. Good morning, Pindar. I'm choking on water. So yeah, like I was saying, I did my 4.5 miles today and thought, let's just go live and hang out and talk about people, but not really talk about people because we're not going to do that. We're going to be happy today. It is a waxing crescent moon. The moon is in Leo now. If you guys follow all that kind of stuff, basically what it means, the general theme for all zodiac signs is this is going to be a time of creativity. You're going to want to have those deep conversations and just let it all out, all your emotions. It's supposed to be a good time, a time of healing, a time of restoration. So, yeah, take advantage of that. Tell people how much you love them or how much you hate them if that's your cup of tea. So, I was listening to a bunch of shit yesterday, as I'm sure we all were. And like something popped into my head, and I remembered like not too long ago, maybe about a month or two ago, like I would hear all these little whispers and see all these little comments about me. And, it was basically people saying, someone did say this verbatim. chasing, look what you've become. So last night, when that popped back into my head and I remembered it, I was thinking, man, yes, look what I've become. Because it's all of you who are judging me that have turned out to be the real shitbags here. Like, I haven't done anything. I'm not the one out here, like, just verbally annihilating people anytime I get the chance and then turning around and acting like my hands are clean. We see all of you. I see all of you. I'm not going to speak for everyone else, but I see all of you. All you people that used to be my friends, who I used to talk to on a daily basis, like maybe not on the phone or anything like that, but in Discords and stuff, we used to talk about everything, about my kids. Well, not everything because I'm not that stupid, but a little bit about my life. And now y'all act like I don't even exist. You can sit in a whole chat with me for 2+ hours and not say one word to me. It's like I was never even part of your whatever you got going on. And that's okay because look what the fuck you've become. You've become that person that y'all are always bitching about. Not me. I'm still me. But hell no, I'm not going to speak to y'all first. When I see you out here running your mouths, I see you. Maybe you're not running your mouths about me, but you're lying and making up shit and embellishing shit to make it fit. I'm going to use that word we all hate, to fit your narrative. We have become better than we were. And that's what everybody should strive to do on a daily basis. You want to be better than that version of you that lived in yesterday. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I fall short all the time. Every day I get at least one or two things wrong. But, I embrace it and I learn from it and I just try to do better the next day. It's really not that difficult. But the reason these people can't show kindness or grace or any of that good stuff towards other people is because they don't give it to themselves. When you watch people and you look at their behaviors and how they treat others, it's a really good indicator of how they feel about them. Because you can't put anything out into the world if you're not like just immersed in it. If you're a lovey-dovey happy person, then that's what you can give to everyone else because that's just who you are. If you're a miserable old hag every day of your life and you have nothing but negativity spewing from your mouth and you can't find one thing that you're happy about other than making someone else so miserable, if that's what makes you happy on a daily basis, you have problems. Like, I know that I have said some messed up stuff to people. I have a mouth on me. Let's be honest. I'm a Leo. I'm one of the ragiest fire signs that there is. But I'm also very kind and generous and loyal and affectionate and all the other things that make me who I am. I can be an asshole with best of them. But I'm not going to do it for no apparent reason. Like, you're going to have to come at me. Like, it's just, I don't like to fight. I don't like to argue with people. So you're going to have to meet me halfway. You're going to have to step up first. And then we can duke it out. But some of this shit has just gone beyond. Since all this crap started, and don't get me wrong, I don't really care because I'm not a very active shit talker, I guess. I'm not even going to say creator. I don't create shit. Um, I've lost about 32 subs over this. Now, they may not all be like real subs. Like, I know YouTube will cycle through and clean out old accounts for you or inactive accounts. maybe 30 something people decide they just don't like me anymore because they don't like my friends. Well, bye. And I'll go ahead and answer your question. I ain't mad at you. You want to unsub for me? Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, thank you, Texas Kim. I try to be a good person. I really do. Sometimes it takes everything in me because I just want to choke the absolute shit out of some people. Some people really get under my skin and they don't even have to do much. They can just look stupid that day and it'll get under my skin because they're just an annoying person from Jump Street. So I was listening to Kells this morning. That was interesting. She cracks me up sometimes. I know people have mixed feelings about her because, she's on this side or that side but, whatever. It is what it is. We're all just a big melting pot of people anyway. Who cares? Um, she was cracking me up. Ernie was on panel early on, and like I like that kind of stuff. I like waking up in the morning where I can just like get a good laugh, and it just puts me in a mood for the rest of the day. Like I love to laugh. 9 times out of 10, I'm laughing at a lot of you, but I love to laugh. So if you didn't get to watch that, go ahead and go give her the view. And listen to the beginning. It got kind of towards the end. Sorry, Kels, but yeah, she is feisty, and she. They were talking about Mama T sucking on Ernie's black toe this morning, and that's pretty rank, but just feet in general. Like I couldn't imagine sticking someone's toes in my mouth. There's just nothing about that. That. Ugh. And it doesn't matter whose toes it is either. Oh, you lost 600 subs? What the fuck? I could probably rustle up some subs if I just got out there, but let's be honest, who wants to deal with some of this shit? Y'all can hate Nick all y'all want to, but she puts up with a ration of shit. I don't like, I try to be cool, calm, and collected, but y'all don't really know me that well. Like, I have my moments where I'm like a spaz. It's like I have to tell myself to snap out of it because, right, stress takes its toll on all of us, and I have a lot going on in my life right now. Like, you have no idea. Which brings me to, it's my birthday next month. My birthday. I'm going to be 25, also known as 49. And I used to be kind of sad about that, but now I think being 49 is going to be pretty cool. Like, I'm probably not your typical 49-year-old, whatever a typical 49-year-old might be. Like, I'm pretty athletic now. Um, yeah, it's going to be good. And you know how, like, at around Christmas time, we started hearing, Ernie was saying that 2024 was going to be his best year yet. And, I think we all feel that way at the end of every year. We like convince ourselves that, okay, this was a shit year, but next year is going to be my year. It's going to be great. All my dreams are going to come true. I'm going to live this fantastic life, and we're all motivated and shit. And then the hangover wears off on January 2nd, and we're just like moving at a snail's pace to try to make all those good things happen. That's going to make that year our year. I went into 2024 like just accepting that it was going to be just like every other year. I just wasn't motivated for much. I was, but I wasn't. Like I was motivated for external things, but when it came down to me and what I wanted and what made me happy, I was just kind of stagnant. Like, I had accepted what was, and I was willing to sit in that for an unforeseeable amount of time. And then I had a plan. Well, 2024 came along and just like completely turned that to shit. And like, this has actually been a pretty kick ass year for me. We're a little over halfway through it. Lots going on, lots of big changes, but it's going to be good. So, in the spirit of my almost birthday, you will notice my banner. Why not have an early birthday gift? So if you want to give me money, my Cash App's up there. There's no shame in my game. Every dollar helps. And trust and believe that it's going to a good cause that you will all hear about very soon. Every birthday is a blessing. Like, I am so thankful just to be alive. Like, I've taught myself over the years after all the traumatic shit I've been through to, look at things a lot differently. And I find appreciation in the small things. It doesn't take much to make me happy. If my family is safe and healthy, if the people I care about are safe and healthy, I have everything I need. I'm not some bougie chick who wants all this fancy shit. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Do I want a roof over my head and over my kids' heads? Absolutely. But I find value in the things that a lot of people overlook. And that includes relationships, right? Like, I think some of these people that are out here talking all this mad shit are just like so miserable. Do they have any real relationships? If I was immersed in some of these circles around YouTube, I would probably be like a neurotic, hairless cat. I would be on edge all the time, knowing that every day could be the day that they're saying all that shit about me. Like, do people not think about this stuff? When you look at how people treat others, you get a glimpse of how you could very well be treated. And that's true in any situation. I have good relationships with people, but I put energy into making it so. Um, but I'm well aware that casual acquaintances, they don't always hold your best interest, high up on the totem pole. So I'm well aware that the same thing could happen to me too. But if I live every day of my life worried about the what ifs, then I'm going to miss out on a lot of good shit. I'm going to miss out on a lot of good people. So, all you people who just can't understand why I support or why I talk to the people I do, mind your fucking business. I'm okay with the choices I make. I haven't been screwed over yet. So obviously things are going good right now. I'm not going to worry about things I have no control over. And if you don't like my friends, that's great. I do. We do need some Ernie shenanigans. He's going to be mad at me for saying that. Ernie, are you listening? Y'all want me to knock on something? I won't do that to you. Hey, Rachel. Like, he's made a couple of appearances on panels. I guess he was serious when he said he wasn't going to be going live. He was live on Facebook like 3 days ago. He had like a red yearbook background. That's what his backgrounds remind me of. Is like when you go to take school pictures, and they line you up in the gym, and they got all those backgrounds and those plastic combs. Oh my gosh! Back in the 80s when they used to do school pictures. they would have like this big box of plastic combs, and you go through the line. If you need to fix your hair, you just pick up one of those combs. And then I guess they just sprayed them down and reused them, which it's a wonder not all of us like just were swarming with lice back then. Ugh. I don't know that they do that anymore because my mini me, she has come home with some pictures and her hair was a hot mess. Lisa, no, I didn't forget who you are. I haven't been working on stuff like that lately. I had to take a break. Um, so yeah, she's come home with like her hair sticking up in the front, not looking anything like it did when she left to go to school that morning. So I always send her with a brush though. Does the child brush her hair? No, they don't. And then they charge you, like I remember back when I was in school, like a packet of pictures would have been like $20, and you got like a shit ton of them. I think I still have extra pictures left over from when I was in like fifth grade. But now they want you to buy like a disc, and if you want like one 8x10, it's like $30. It's crazy. Honestly, I usually just buy the picture, I buy the disc, and then I just print whatever I want at home. It's cheaper that way. Who else came in? But yeah, Lisa, I'll get in touch with you. There was just um yeah, it got a lot going on. That's all I'm going to say. But I'll get in touch with you. I just had to kind of take a step back for a bit and regroup. So, Mama T, I heard, is moving. I haven't watched her in a little bit. I've been preoccupied. Mama T, I would like to know, are you moving into your own place, or are you just moving to like another town? I'm just curious because I know you just started a job. I was just wondering, being nosy. And then what else? I had another bone I wanted to pick with someone. Oh, let's talk about ATIL for a little bit because that girl is the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, they have vacancies at the Super 8. Does she need boxes? She probably has a bunch of boxes. She's been living in them. Mama T always runs hot cold with me, right? Like she'll block me out of her whole existence. I don't know why she hates me so much. If anything, I should hate her, and I kind of do. But yeah, she just cannot stand me. But she'll be nice to me, like if she sees me in her chat. Sometimes she sounds a little disgusted. I'll either get the hi chasing or hi chasing. Like it just ruins her day to see me there. I don't even have to say much. I think I got blocked at Ernie's because then someone told me I was unblocked. Hell, I didn't even know I got blocked to begin with. But those little tigers, boy, they don't like me. They see me coming and they just punt me right out of there. Are we dancing? Oh, hey Nick. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. We're not even doing anything important. I'm bullshit, basically. 34 suckers came to listen to it happen. Oh. If I was talking about drama or I had some drama shit in my title, everybody'd be here with their noses sticking out of the bushes wanting to see what's going on. I'm just not feeling very dramatic today. It's hot out here, very hot. Um, so a lot of people have asked me questions about this whole like fitness journey, and Let's talk about it, okay? I'm a little bitty thing. I'm 5'2" and a half. Um, I've never been super duper skinny, except, and I don't know that I've ever talked about this before. Um, when I was a senior in high school, I was on the dance team. And back then, if you had to try out for every performance, it was like every football game, it wasn't just guaranteed that you were going to dance, you had to try out for each performance, especially if it was like something special, like a Christmas thing or a competition. We also had to weigh in at those tryouts. And I was never huge either. Like, I have a little squatty body. I have a short torso. I have muscular legs. Um, yeah, I'm just, you know, I am who I am. Well, because of the weigh-ins, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was a senior in high school, I was smoking lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of weed, and I loved my junk food. But I wasn't huge. I think I was like a size 5 or something, which by today's standards is huge. But I had an eating disorder, and I battled that for a little while, and then I had my first child not long after high school. So that kind of fixed that. But I did suffer from body dysmorphia. Um, then, after having all kinds of babies, and all of them were C sections and not the cute little bikini cut, I mean, I had the old fashioned from belly button all the way down C section because it was an emergency. I've had that same incision cut open with every child. So I have scar tissue. Like, my stomach is not my favorite area. But with all these other changes that were going on, I had to start working on me too. And I started doing things like making sure that I got a good solid 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, which I had to become very disciplined because I'm a night owl. Um, that first 10 minutes of sunlight when you start your day is the best. Go outside and just stand in the sun for 10 minutes, first thing in the morning. And after about a week, you'll start to feel what a difference it makes. Um, you're basically soaking in that first bit of energy from the sun. And Ernie did say something that is true. If you take your shoes off and you step in the grass, it does ground you. There's like healing effects from it. It just kind of grounds you with nature. You draw the energy from the ground, you draw it from the sun, and you'll start to feel a whole lot better. Women who are menopausal, who have PCOS, who have endometriosis, that first bit of sunlight is going to like reset your cortisol levels. Um, if you're out there and you haven't had your cortisol levels checked, and you're like wondering why all these little things, like why you feel bloated and why your face is swollen, why you're not sleeping good, why you're anxious, why you might be depressed, why you're always hungry, why you're always craving sweets, it's your cortisol. It could be other things too, but start there, because with your cortisol, there's so many things you can do to fix it on your own without having to be like medicated. There's supplements you can take. There's, lifestyle changes. For me, I'm all about supplementation and avoiding medicine at all costs. I'm not a fan of big pharma. If there's a natural way that I can fix something, that's the route I'm going to take. And it's been working for me. I'm not going to say that it'll work for everyone. Of course, I am not a specialist. Consult your doctor before you do anything like that. But I just had to get off my ass and start doing something for me. And that's what I did. So I started walking every day. And I didn't like really ease into it. I started out pretty intense from the get go. I set my goal at 15,000 steps a day. which was about 2.5 miles. And I just worked my way up from there. Now my goal is set at 25,000 steps a day, but I usually average between 30 and 35, which comes to be anywhere from 12 to 14 miles, depending on, the surface I'm walking on. And I do most of my walking outside. I want to be out in nature. That's where I do all my best thinking. Sometimes when I'm walking, I'm listening to everyone else while they're live. Sometimes I'm not listening to anything except the birds and the bugs and all of that stuff. Then from there, um, yoga, Pilates, um, a lot of breathing exercises. And for me, the outcome has been I'm a lot more calm when it comes to dealing with situations. My body is not constantly in fight or flight because my cortisol levels are good now. Used to, if I would go outside and get hot, like within 10 minutes, I would have like a rash on my arms, just like red spots. They weren't raised, they didn't itch. It was just weird. I don't have that anymore, which is amazing. I still have about 100 pounds of hair on my head. It does still fall out a little bit. I shed, but it's nothing like it used to be. So, yeah, and it was getting myself in that mindset. Oh, and now I'm like lifting weights. So, start small. It's the little things that over time will progress to the big things. If you're wanting to get healthy and lose weight, just make small changes. Swap out one soda a day for sparkling water, or, eat higher protein, because the rule of thumb, Ernie, is this. And I know I told you before, you want at least 100 grams of protein a day at minimum. You want to try to aim for 1.6 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. So say you weigh 170, but you want to weigh 140, then 140 is the number that you want to focus on for your protein intake. And that's hard, especially if you're not a big meat eater. Like I'm not. Um, I'll eat the crap out of some chicken, but that's about it. I don't eat a lot of red meat. Why? Because you never fully digest red meat and it can just cause all kinds of other icky problems. Also, as women, I suggest a good probiotic, because digestive issues, when you're bloated and you feel gross, it's going to make all of you feel gross. It's going to slow down your thought process. It's just going to have so many effects on your body. So yeah, I've just been kind of throwing myself into learning how to do better for me so that I can be better for everyone else. And all of this crap that I'm going through, all of these big changes that I have been making in my life is going to make the end result that I can't talk about right now so much better. And trust me, guys, when I can tell you the full story, you're going to love it. Because shit like that just doesn't happen. But it did happen. And it's been a long time coming. And it's just going to be great. So yeah, any of the and if you guys want to do stuff like that, hit me up. I'll walk with you every morning. I'll get on the phone with you and we'll chit chat so you can get a 15, 20, 30-minute walk in. Because I've seen how much difference it's made for me. Like, I want other people to have that too, if that makes sense. So 2024 has been a good year for me. It's also been kind of a selfish year for me, because I'm one that usually puts everyone else ahead of me. And I've come to realize that I can't always do that. And it doesn't mean that I care about them any less or I love them any less, but I'm useless to other people if I'm not okay. So I got to do what I got to do to make me okay. And of all these assholes out here that spend day in, day out criticizing everyone else for doing the same exact shit that they're doing, hello, hypocrisy. If they spent more time worrying about themselves, imagine how much different things could be around here. Because we all can admit that shit has gotten out of control. Nobody has control over this shit anymore. It's crazy. Crazy town. But a lot of people are just getting off on it. I can tell that it doesn't take much to make y'all happy either. People reveling in the fact that they could ruin someone's life. What the fuck makes you want to get up and want to ruin someone else's life? Are you kidding? What are you going to get out of it? Honestly, at the end of the day, if you take someone's job away, if you have their children removed from the home, if you do all this rancid ass crap to people, what are you getting out of it? Because you got to be a sick, twisted individual to get any kind of satisfaction out of doing that to someone based on something that someone else said. Who, keep in mind, the people that are saying this shit were all shits and giggles when they were going right along with it. It was all A-OK, Danny boy. And now they're all pissed off and suddenly it's not okay. You know, one thing that was said the other night was, well, Nicolina didn't have any people there supporting. That's not my problem. Motherfucker. We were all there, dummy. But we saw that shit getting set up before it even started. We saw the little emojis running around. Who the hell wants to walk right into the middle of a bonfire without a fire protection suit on? That shit caught us off guard. We didn't know anything about that. Why? Because none of us made that fucking phone call. None of us. But y'all are convinced that we did, so that's what we're going to run with. Okay. And this shit will die down, as does everything else. And people will be pissed off about something else completely different next week. And it'll be a whole new group of people who are getting their feelings hurt or having threats made up against them. And it's just crazy. And God forbid that someone find out some dirty shit that happened in your life, because you're probably going to get it 10 times worse. Why? Not because they feel like you deserve it. That would just be silly. They're going to do it because they're embarrassed about the bullshit that was just uncovered about them. I'll have to try that. I'm not a big fan of jerky. I'm trying to like it. It's a texture thing with me. Um, yeah, I have a lot of food aversions thanks to texture, but I'll try it. I mean, shit, I'm always looking for ways to get protein in. One of my favorite snacks is the Dannon Greek yogurt. When I'm feeling really bad, then I'll eat the Crunchlands. Like, they have a strawberry cheesecake one that's really good. It has like white chocolate chunks and like little graham cracker pieces. And you put that in the strawberry flavored yogurt. It's really good. And the Dannon yogurts are like 11 to 12 grams of protein, depending on the flavor. The Oikos Greek yogurt is higher. They're like 13 grams. And I think the keto ones are 15 grams. But they have a much more bitter taste to me. Oh, meat makes you sick. You can't even stand the smell. Yes, JD, the small steps do add up. Start small. Start with a 15-minute walk. And I know a lot of the areas, a lot of us are in the South where it's just like 100 and hell degrees every day of the week. I think the high here is supposed to be like 98, which might not be bad compared to some areas, but you have to keep in mind where I am, the humidity averages between 55 and 67% every single day. So it's so gross. But yeah, if you can do 15 minutes after each meal, um, but for your morning walk, you definitely want to get that 15 minutes, like I said, as early in the sunlight as you can. Um, and then walk for a few minutes after lunch. And I usually do about 2 hours in the evening. I might split that up. I'll either do it all at home outside, or I will do like 30 minutes on the treadmill at the gym, do a workout, and then come home and walk the rest. So, yeah, now I love walking. And I have COPD. And so at the beginning, it was a struggle. You know, I would get short of breath easy. But this is actually because I do breathing exercises and stuff too, um, to strengthen my core. Then, like, it's helped my lungs. Like, I can breathe a lot better. I hardly have to use my inhaler now. Karen is going to be starting in about 12 minutes. So we are going to wrap up soon. Is there anything that anyone wants to say? I'm glad that you guys came and hang out with me for a little bit and listen to me talk. I talk a lot, don't I? I can. Usually, once I get going, it's hard to get me to shut up. So, we have quite a few birthdays. Queen Ashley just had a birthday a couple of days ago. So, happy birthday to her. I know there's lots of July birthdays. My son will be 22 on July 18th. And he's such a good guy. Like, I have to pat myself on the back. He's my only boy, and he is just the bee's knees, let me tell you. Hi, Izzy. I'm going to check out those beef sticks. I'm definitely going to look into it today. Like, I love protein shakes, though. Oh my gosh, my favorite, peanut butter and banana with either peanut butter plant protein powder or vanilla plant protein. I like the plant protein better than the whey. Also, my goal is not, it's body recomp, which is I have some areas that I want to lose a little bit, and then tone and strengthen everything all at the same time. So there's like this whole formula to it, which we can talk about another day if anyone wants. But you know, when you want to cut, you have to increase. You want to eat above your maintenance calories, and that's when you're building muscle. And then when you want to lose or slim, then you have to be in a calorie deficit. And there's free calculators out there you can use to find out what deficit you need to be in. And it'll help you set a goal. Say if you want to lose 40 pounds, um, it'll calculate for you what your deficit needs to be in order to lose that amount of weight and how long it's going to take you. So, and anyone can always reach out and I can point you in the direction to resources, things that have helped me. I have a couple of apps I use on my phone. I have an iPhone, so there's a health app already installed. I do that for like period tracking and it counts my steps. I have an app where I can check my heart rate. A good heart rate to be at for women like around my age it averages about 116 in order to actually burn calories. Of course, you don't want to be that high when you're just sitting around watching TV. Um, I use an app called Net Diary, and that's where I log all my food and it counts my macros and my calories all day. The thing is you have to be honest and you have to include that mayonnaise you put on your sandwich and all those things, cooking with oil. If you cook with oil, you have to include that. So the worst thing you can do is get frustrated because you're not seeing the results that you want to see and you think that you're not doing enough when actually you are. The only thing you're doing wrong is you're tracking your food wrong. You're not being honest about every calorie you put in your body, and that includes liquid calories too. That glass of sweet tea, you got to count that. But if you're getting your exercise in and you're getting your steps in and you're burning your calories, then it's really easier than what you would think. So yeah, I'm always available to help, and we can just do this little journey together because things are always better when you have a buddy. Um, Mandy Cat, that I'm not sure. I would think so. It's really easy to get your cortisol messed up, and I would think that with having a hysterectomy and the hormonal changes, it's definitely a high possibility. And all these things, like if you're on TikTok, you see all these people trying to sell you the cortisol cocktail and all that. Well, there's different types of cortisol cocktails. The supplements I take and things like that, that's considered a cortisol cocktail. But I didn't have to go to you know, a pyramid place to buy it. Like it wasn't one of those marketing schemes. But there is a drink that's supposed to, and the way they push it is they're like, flatten your tummy in 10 days. No, it's not going to happen that fast. It's going to be consistency, watching what the hell you put in your mouth, and doing appropriate exercises. A lot of women have a hard time losing weight or toning up their stomach because they have mommy pouches. Everyone around here calls them fupas, but they're mommy pouches. Like, especially if you've had C-sections. And it's because you have diastasis recti, which means your abdominal muscles have separated and you need to put them back together, and then you'll start to have a flatter stomach. There's easy exercises to do that. Don't do crunches. You don't want to do things that's going to separate them even more. Mandy Cat, definitely have your cortisol levels checked, and then be checked for any other autoimmune disorders. But most often, it is just simply cortisol. And that, especially at our ages, really starts to shift. And it does a lot of things, like not to gross anyone out, but like when women have like smelly armpits, it could be high cortisol. Um, and it's just things like your body is just like the human body is like an amazing thing, right? When you think about all the things it does and how it responds to things and doesn't respond to other things, and how we're all unique, but yet at the same time, disorders and things present the same way in all of us. It's just very fascinating to me. But definitely, you are what you eat. Everything you put into your body matters. Just making those small changes, baby steps, baby steps. Well, Manny Cat, my email is in the About section. You can always email me anything. And if there's something that I don't have an answer for, I'll find it for you. All right, guys. Let's see. I know Karen's link was in here earlier. I'm sure most of you are subbed anyway. So everyone head over to X Factors and let's hear what she has to say. I'm getting ready to take Mini Me to the doctor, so I'll be there. I might not be chatting much. I hope all of you have an amazing freaking day. Hug your loved ones. They don't bite. You never know if tomorrow is going to come. Keep being your beautiful, badass selves. Don't let the man get you down. And I'll see all you assholes out there, okay? Love you. Bye.